Today on What It Looks Like Homemade, we are going to make the most amazing chocolate chip cookie. And we're not gonna just do chocolate chips, we're gonna do chocolate chip, white chocolate, and pecans in there, because that's how you can make this recipe. You can make it in a number of different ways, but we're gonna do what I think is the most amazing combination of chocolate, white chocolate, and pecans. And the pecans I still have left over from the sweet potato casserole that we made just a couple of weeks ago. If you have not seen that video, I would definitely post a link up there for you. So that's sometimes you can do that when you have recipes, you have stuff left over. Hey, make it into something else. That's what we do here at Homemade. And again, thank you so much for watching and for subscribing. And if you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button today, knock it out. It would be fantastic, and you can keep coming back here getting more recipes. So we're gonna go ahead and get started today with the most amazing chocolate chip cookie you have ever had.
All right, listen, here we go. You don't know how to cook, I'ma teach you now. Stir fry, cheesecake, apple pie. Get your mind right, you ain't gotta ask why. I can do this all night, let me show you how. Everything tastes good when you follow me. Make your friend ask, can I get the recipe? We turn lemons into lemonade. Get your cooking skills and upgrade on what it looks like, homemade. What it looks like, homemade. What it looks like, homemade. Homemade.
Okay, so to get started in making our most amazing chocolate chip cookie that you have ever tasted, the first thing we need to do is pour in our flour. So we need 2 1/4 cups of flour. So we're gonna pour it into a small bowl here. 2 1/4 cups. Then we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of baking soda and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna mix it in here. Just try to get it blended the best you can. Okay, now we're gonna set this bowl aside, and then we're gonna start the next step. The next step is that we need to use our 1 cup of softened butter. So we have, really it's 2 sticks of butter. So we're gonna pour it right into our bowl. And it's just, I just let these sit out during the daytime before I got ready to make this recipe. And that's the easiest way to have it soften up. Then we're gonna have 3/4 cups of packed in brown sugar. So when you're measuring the brown sugar and you're putting it in your measuring dish, just kind of pack it in there so that you make sure you get the full amount of brown sugar that's needed for this recipe. And then we have 3/4 cups of granulated sugar, and pour it all in there. Some didn't want to come out. And then we're going to use our blender. We're going to mix it and beat it here. But first I'm going to start off with my spoon just to get everything somewhat together before I put the blender in there, or the mixer. And so we're going to use our mixer here on medium speed, and we want to blend everything in here pretty well. It's gonna get nice and fluffy is what we want. It's gonna take about a minute or so to do it. Be sure to stop every so often so you can get it off the sides here, so we can make sure we get everything mixed in into our dough here. Okay, so now that our mixture is smooth, next thing we're gonna do is add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we're gonna add in 1 whole egg here. Then we're gonna mix this in and get it to it's nice and fluffy. All right, now so we're done with that, so we're gonna get it off of our spoon, off of our mixing blades here. Best you can anyway. Oh yeah, that's the consistency you want right there. That's how you want it to be. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add in the flour that we had mixed in before, the flour with the salt and the baking soda. So you can start adding that in. We're gonna mix a little bit at a time. It's gonna start to get really thick too, as you can imagine. Start mixing it in there. And as you can see, it's a pretty easy recipe, quite honestly. Just a few simple ingredients to making chocolate chip cookies. All right, look, it's almost like a ball. Look at that. Okay, now this is the beauty of this recipe. So let's say you don't like chocolate chips. You want to use butterscotch chips, or you want to use some other kind of nut. You don't want to use nuts at all. Maybe you want to put raisins in here. Whatever type of cookie you want, just use the same measurements that we're using today. So it's, for example, well, I'm doing the white chocolate chips, but you could substitute this 1 cup with 1 cup of what you want to add to your recipe. It could be exactly the way you want it to be. But today we're going to do 1 cup of white chocolate chips. Pour the whole thing in there. Gonna get it mixed in. And your arm is going to get a good workout. Believe me. Believe me. All right, next we're gonna add in our 1 cup of chocolate chips. Just put it right on in there. Get it mixed in. You can tell this is gonna be fantastic. Oh my goodness. Those chocolate chips smell really good too. Didn't smell the white chocolate as much as I do the chocolate. Man, this is thick. Go now, I'm gonna add in 1 cup of chopped pecans. Now I'll tell you a secret. I was gonna put raisins in here too, but my wife does not like raisin cookies, so thought I'd just go ahead and do the raisin, not do the raisins. But if I did, I was gonna do half a cup of pecans and then half a cup of raisins. You see, that way I kept the measurements the same, 1 cup, but 2 different ingredients. So that's another way that you can make this recipe, this cookie, into something that you want for you or for your family. There's a lot of different ways you can customize it. Oh, it's so thick, my fingers are getting a little cramped trying to get this cookie dough mixed in here. But I want to mix it in as much as I can so that each cookie has chocolate chip, the white and the chocolate, as well as some pecans in there. So don't skip on mixing it in here. Okay, I think we have it mixed in here well. You will definitely get a workout. Whew. Gotta loosen up the fingers. Here we go. All right, now it's time to put it onto some parchment paper. We've already preheated the oven to 375 degrees, and now we're gonna bake it for about 8 to 10 minutes. But always check it to make sure, because you don't want it to be overcooked. Nobody wants burnt cookies. Okay, now it's time to scoop them out and put them onto our parchment paper here. Just gonna use a spoon and get, about a chunk about like this size out of there. Put it on there. It's gonna be a pretty decent sized cookie. And you wanna have them about 2 inches apart from each other, so that way when it starts to spread, it won't overlap itself. There you go. Now if you had like a spooner, like a scooper, maybe a little bit better. You can have your cookies to be more even in size, but it don't really matter because you're just gonna eat it anyway. You probably break it apart, eat it. It's all about presentation if you wanted to do it that way, but for me, I'm just gonna scoop it in here so I can get to eating. There we go. Okay, so now we have our first batch is ready to go into the oven. So we're gonna bake it for 8 to 10 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 8 minutes. Okay, our cookies are done. Now I made 3 different batches of cookies. I made 3 different sizes so you can see the possibilities that you have. So this one's the biggest one that I made here. It's that one. Here's the smallest one. This is my favorite size right here. It's the best size to make, in my opinion. But let's go ahead and get to my favorite part, the taste test. So I'm gonna do the medium sized one here and see. Now I can already tell it's pretty crispy. Look at the back there. It looks really nice and crisp, but the inside is definitely gonna be chewy. Let's see how we look. Oh man, look at that. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is fantastic. Oh, I need some ice cream with this. Oh man. Ice cream would be delicious. Oh, I gotta get my wife to go to the store and get some ice cream because this is gonna be fantastic. This is by far the best cookie I have ever had. And it will be the best cookie you will ever have. I guarantee it. Again, thank you so much for watching What It Looks Like Homemade.